Janine Show. I'm so happy to have you all here today. It is amazing to be talking about spring. Yes, spring has sprung. Now, I don't know where you're at. Please let me know where you are on this beautiful planet. And has spring sprung in terms of your weather? I don't know. Here where we are, not so much. I had to wear my winter coat today, but it's okay. Spring is in the air. We know it's just around the corner in terms of the beautiful weather. And guess what we're talking about? We're talking about spring detoxification today. We're also going to be talking about how to spot a fake coconut oil. Yeah, fake coconut oil. Did you know that your coconut oil could be fake? I'm going to tell you all the things that we need to be looking for on the label. And we're going to do a little test as well to really test this coconut oil and see if it's fake or not. Okay, so that is something that you can do at home that you're going to love, which is amazing. And how do we know if we're toxic? We're going to go through the signs and symptoms of toxicity, and more importantly, my tips how to do that full body spring detox, because 'tis the season to be doing that. And we've got a lot of toxins and things in our home, of course, affecting our liver as well. So you know that I've talked a lot about fatty liver in previous episodes. We're also going to be talking about how these toxins can actually affect our body and symptoms of that toxicity. And guess what? You're going to help me to fill in the blanks all about those symptoms of toxicity. It's a fun and engaging show. Remember that we play for prizes here, so we will be doing that. Our quiz questions will be coming up, so make sure that you're ready to type in your comments. Hello, nice to see you. Jolie, nice to see you. Hello, hello. And X in the US, nice to see you. Great to have you here. North, South, hello. Thank you and welcome on in. Please let me know where you're from. Raina with the big sunshines. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Mike is here as well. Hello, hello. And everyone who's here for the first time, make sure you hit that follow button. I appreciate all the love coming in already. I see all those hearts coming in. Amazing, amazing to have you all here. Now, if you missed last week's show, we talked about headaches. We did talk about liver toxicity. We also talked about lipomas and what those were, and I had my tips, those natural tips for dealing with lipomas. We also talked about the best foods for our liver, so I hope you're starting to incorporate some of those foods into your diet, and we did some acupressure as well for those headaches. So I hope that everybody's been headache-free, at least for the last week. And if we need to revisit some of those things that we talked about, we might have a bit of time at the end of the show. Hello, Ari. Nice to have you here. Thank you for tuning in today to the Doctor Janine Show. We are live here in the studio. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about detoxification. So springtime happens to be the best time of year that your body actually supports doing a detox protocol. Now, how would you know that you've got some toxicity happening, and what actually causes toxin buildup in the body? Let's actually go through some of the list of some of those causes of toxicity. I'm actually going to have you help me to fill in the blanks. What do you think could cause toxicity? Why we don't feel so well? We'll go through some of the symptoms of toxicity as well. All the more indication that you may need to do that spring detox at this time of year. But give me some hints here. Give me some clues. Let's fill in the blanks. What could cause some toxicity in our body, and all the more reason that we've got to do that detox? Okay, who is paying attention? Good morning, Kim. Nice to have you here. Gold Wedding, Santorini, nice to have you in Greece. Beautiful, beautiful. I hope the weather is beautiful there. And spring has sprung for you, which is amazing. Pink Tinkerbell 09, hello, nice to see you. Yes, good answers. I see a lot of good answers coming in. Do I see the one I'm looking for? Aha, Deborah, I like that answer as well. Arlene, absolutely. Love that answer. Okay, so our food. So yes, a lot of us are eating very sad food. So here in North America, we call it the SAD. It's SAD, Standard American Diet. The SAD diet. It is sad if you're eating local food that is very highly processed. We know that this is a hidden area now in your food that you could be picking up some toxins, so environmental toxins, things like glyphosate, we know, pesticides, herbicides, but heavy metals as well. And we will be talking about some of that problem with a fake coconut oil, so that's going to be coming up in just a minute, so stay tuned for that. Okay, give me some more hints. Where else? Junk food, yes, absolutely. Kim, I see that. Preservatives in our food, absolutely. This is all part and parcel of not having healthy food. Did anybody say what I'm looking for number 2? Mary, okay, Mary's got it. Our water is also contaminated. groundwater. If you're drinking tap water, we know that this is a problem in terms of contamination. Now that they've done testing on local water supplies in different parts of the world, we know that microplastics are a problem as well. And I do have posts on microplastics and some of the ways you can protect yourself. As well as we know that there are some hormones and other residues from medications that people are urinating out. And of course, it's getting into our drinking water, which is kind of scary stuff. All the more reason that we need to detox. So whether, and I hear this all the time, oh, I don't need to detox. I eat well no, everybody needs to detox. Nobody has gotten the upgrade for all of the environmental toxins that we have in our lives these days. And that's why it's so important to do that regular detoxification, especially now in springtime. Okay, number 3, any more toxins? Here's a little hint over here. Yes, I see some beauty products, but also household products, so household cleaners in our home, and other household products, of course, that we use, like this kind of stuff in the laundry. And you know that I have my own laundry soap recipe, which I love, non-toxic, and that's all that I use. If you're, washing your dishes, if you've got cans in your home, you use aluminum foil, you've got a dishwasher and you're using these types of things, maybe you use a lot of antiperspirant, deodorant, again, another source of those toxins. Thank you for everybody who's here today. Please say hello if you're here. And oh my goodness, see some good answers. Yes, those answers are coming up and I love that. Oh my goodness. G. Stainless, is it? Yes, I got that right. Okay, that answer I'm going to put down in just a second because I'm holding on that one. Thank you, Barbara, for the follow. Please hit that share button. Thank you for following everyone. Thank you for everybody who's here. Okay, let's continue. What's another cause for that toxicity? Yes, what is in our air is definitely a problem. And this is something that we definitely want to improve our lung status. When we come over to Lucy really quickly, when we're breathing and doing deep breathing, we're hoping that it's in clean and clear air. If you're in your yoga class or you're doing meditation and you're doing your deep breathing, you're not always breathing in the most pristine air. So this is something that we have to think about, that there are ways to actually detoxify the lungs beyond just the deep breathing. Okay, what's another cause? Everybody's got it? Yes, we have it? Yes? Awesome. Okay, of course. It is EMF. So this is for all my followers. Of course, I talk about electromagnetic fields, the toxicity that we cannot see. We can't necessarily perceive it, but if you're sensitive, you're electrosensitive. Those EMFs from your cell phone, the Wi-Fi towers that are in your neighborhood, as well as, on social media, on your computer all day. This is a source. Anything basically that's plugged in could potentially be giving you these EMFs, which are not natural, they're man-made, and affects your cellular metabolism. Another source, a big source, one of the biggest ones for toxicity, another reason why we've got to do some moves in terms of that full body detox. My tips for detoxing are coming up. Okay, and number 6, yes, I think a lot of you have said this as well, which I'm so happy that my followers who are here, you've been watching for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Number 6, probably the most important one, is lack of sun. So no sun. Not getting enough natural sunlight exposure is going to make you more and more toxic. So that's one of the simplest and most free things that you can do, is go out and just expose yourself, your skin, of course, and your eyes to that natural sunlight exposure. All right, we've got the list here. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about coconut oil. Now, did you know that coconut oil can be fake? Okay? And this is something that is pretty scary. We're going to do a little test in the kitchen set in just a few moments to test this coconut oil to see if it's actually real or fake. And that's something that you can do at home, which is amazing. But what they do is that they often are using coconuts that are not so fresh because of course they're saving money, and big production runs on coconut oil to get it, over here to North America. Usually it's in different parts of the world, as we know, because we don't grow a lot of coconuts in certain parts of North America. So this is a problem. And what they can use is the old copra. So copra is the dried white flesh where they extract the coconut oil from, and they're using old. So it's been sitting around in these coconuts for too long, and that would be a lower grade coconut oil. Now this can often contain heavy metals. So things like arsenic, copper, iron, and lead can be found in your coconut oil if you're not getting a high-end one. one. So this is really important information because a lot of people use coconut oil now thinking that it's the healthier oil to use, to cook with, to spread on your toast, to brush your teeth and do the oil pulling in your mouth, but you don't want to be adding in extra heavy metals. So that's really important. Now, especially if it says fractionated coconut oil and that it's been separated, that is a more processed oil, not one of my favorites. So this is important information. And say hello. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. It's so great to have you here. And thank you to Patricia, Eleanor, Mary. Thank you for coming in. Lawyer777. Thank you for tuning in this morning. So great to have you here. So we do this every Tuesday. If you're new and here for the first time, thank you for all the new followers. Van, Louise, thank you so much for following. I know that so many of you, you take time out of your busy day to spend some time here and learn a little bit about natural medicine, which is amazing. And we're talking about fake coconut oil. We're going to go into the kitchen set in just a second. We're going to do the test. But guess what? It is quiz time. And of course, in every show, we've got a few quiz questions that you have the ability to win a prize. So this week, we're playing for the Vita Detox from our great sponsors at VitaTree Nutritionals. And we thank them for supporting this show. They are the sponsors of the Doctor Janine Show. We thank them for supporting, and this is what you're playing for. So all you have to do is do your best to answer the question. You're going to put your answer. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. Once you see that question come up behind me on the board, put in your answer. And then everybody who actually is participating, and we will draw from that, from all of our participants, and in the random selector. So all you have to do to participate, even if you don't know the answer, I think this week's questions are pretty simple, so I think most of you will get them right. But don't worry, it's no stress. This isn't school, and you're not going to be reprimanded if you don't. It's all fun. It's all fun. But you could win a prize, and I'm going to also announce last week's winner in just a few moments. Okay, are we ready? It's quiz time. Question number 1. Playing for that Vita Detox from VitaTree. Name a cause of toxicity. Okay, you've got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's get your answers in now. Okay, we've got 15 seconds left. I hope everybody was paying attention. Oh, yes. Okay, I see everybody has been paying attention. Good job, everyone. Okay, we've got just about 5 seconds left. Are we ready? Everybody got your answers in? Okay, cutting off that timer right now. Yes, okay, very good job. So I saw a lot of the correct answers. So let's take a look and reveal. I know you're still trying to madly get your answers in, but that's okay. Food, water, household products can be causes of toxicity. Air that we breathe in, EMFs, lack of sunlight exposure. How many of my friends said sun? I saw a lot of EMFs, but Farah Nazariza said no sunlight. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Of course, air toxicity, and a lot of you said EMF, so I'm really actually happy about that. Okay, so I want to announce last week's winner and say congratulations to Raina. Raina, congratulations. I know that you're here and you're watching. Awesome job. You're the winner of the VitaTree Magnesium. Awesome job, Raina. And everybody congratulate Raina. Amazing, amazing. Good job. Okay, everybody else, you've got a couple more opportunities today to win with the quiz questions, so make sure you are staying tuned. Okay, we're going over here now into the kitchen. How do you spot a fake coconut oil? Okay, this is something that's a real super simple test that you can do. And I'm going to share some things to look for on the bottle as well in terms of a good quality coconut oil, what would be listed. But let's look at our coconut oil. Now this is of course the white coconut oil. I know a lot of you like to do the oil pulling. All you're going to do is take a couple of tablespoons of that coconut oil and drop it into some water. And you're just going to let it sit. Now this is at room temperature. It's a little bit chilly here in Canada today. Let me just plop it in here. And you've got to let it sit for about 20 minutes or so. And we're going to come back to this towards the end of the show, and we're going to see what happens. So if that coconut oil starts to separate and dissolve, so everybody take a quick look at that, because we have to sort of make the before and after and check what it looks like after. So you see I've got quite a big clump. I don't know if I can turn that to you a little bit. Quite a bit of a clump sitting on top of the water. We're going to come back to that. If that melts down, then we know that we've got a fake, and all that money that I spent on this bottle was not worth it, okay? And this is what I want you to check out at home as well. But this is something that, if it is that fractionation that's happened, if it's a less quality coconut oil, this could be a problem for you. Now, this is what I want you to look for on your labels. If you can see on the screen behind me, you can see that often it's going to say unrefined, which is good. This one says cold pressed, extra virgin. So these are all good things. I like it in a glass bottle. I don't like the plastic ones. I used to buy plastic, but you know how I feel about plastics. Whenever we can avoid them, let's avoid them. So in a glass bottle is great. And try to avoid the deodorized ones. Okay, because we just know that it's been more processed, more refined if it says deodorized. So this one does not say that. So let's hope when we do the test that it is still in that solid form when we come back to it in a few moments. Now, I do want to give a big shout out to my viewer spotlight. Okay, so this is from Kika Cruz K. Thank you for keeping it real and helping us. So I thank you so much, Kika. It's so wonderful that you shared that beautiful testimonial review. Love the fact that you commented in a positive way. Hey, we're all about positivity here, and I'm going to be talking about some toxic emotions today, something that's new to the show. I haven't really talked about it before, but has a big part and component as to how we're feeling and what's going on emotionally, how that affects us in the physical realm. Okay, and it is spring detox time, so maybe we've got to talk about getting rid of some of those toxic emotions, and we're going to go through that emotional guidance scale in just a few moments. And let's go through as well some detox tips. So thank you, Kika. Thank you for your great positivity. Love that. Continue to send in all your love and all that positivity that you share. Thank you. I love all of your comments and everything that you share, and all of my great viewers that are out there and my devout, followers that have been with me for such a long time. Okay, now let's go through my 7 spring detox tips. So what can we do? What can we do naturally to feel better, to get rid of some of those sort of icky toxic symptoms that we've got, which we'll go through in a few moments. Let's go through them really quickly. Okay, number 1. So simple, drink more water, but try to get some high quality water. I've got some posts on this as to what you're looking for. Ideally, it's a lower deuterium water. So not ideally the tap water, groundwater, not always the best. If you do some filtration system like reverse osmosis, might be better in terms of, that high quality water. Now, spring water that comes from the mountains that passes over, of course, the rocks and has that natural sunlight on it is going to be a higher quality water. And technically, most times when it's been tested, if it's coming from, inland, high in the mountains, and it's that glacier water, fantastic, because it's lower in deuterium. And deuterium, of course, is going to gum up our nanomotors in our mitochondria, those energy-producing organelles that give us so much energy. This is why we have to be a little bit conscientious about the water that we're drinking. But at the very least, drink more water. It helps to flush the toxins through your system. Okay, number 2, another spring detox tip, eat local and seasonal foods whenever you can. So we're going to talk about some of the seasonal foods that are available right now where I live, but it's something that you can easily look up on the internet. Or if you've got a farm, or most easily go out to a farm and, source out some of these foods from a local farmer, because it would be growing, of course, now in season as the spring is coming around the corner. Okay, number 3, move outside. So start doing some exercise, some walking outside. Remember that sunlight exposure. And number 4 on my list, getting that skin exposed to that natural sunlight, and of course without the sunglasses as well, super important as part of your spring detox, reconnecting with nature. That really helps your microbiome as well when you're out in nature, to be touching and to be, connecting with the earth, and maybe it's, with the sand, if you're blessed to be in a sandy, hot ocean region. Very good. And if you are, please put some waves or put some sunshine in the emojis, because it's so great that you have that ability to do that. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Foonies, Karen, thank you. Margaret, thank you for tuning in. Sharon, Mandy, is it Geeta? Thank you so much. Awesome. It is amazing to have you all here. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, let's continue with some of my favorites in terms of doing that full body detox, is using herbal medicines. Now, one of my favorite ones I happen to have here is milk thistle. Now, milk thistle is amazing because it helps to detoxify the liver and the kidneys. So last week, if you missed it, when we talked about liver disease and fatty liver, and I had all my tips for liver health and that fatty liver, Milk thistle is really remarkable because not only does it help to detoxify those liver cells, milk thistle also helps to regenerate healthy liver cells. So yes, you can grow a whole new liver, and it's true for kidneys now as well, that the research is showing that new kidney cells can actually regenerate. So this is the ability, just like we think of salamanders, if you cut off one of their limbs and they can regenerate the limb, yeah, it can happen for our organs as well. So it's never too late, and that's my whole message, that, you know, maybe you're not feeling great, maybe you know you have fatty liver, maybe you're sluggish and you have headaches and all of the symptoms of that toxicity. Maybe it's time just to do some of these detox tips with your spring detox, that full body detox, that you really start to feel better. So that's why using herbal medicines. Milk thistle, one of my favorites. Parsley, great for the kidneys. Cascara helps to move the poops along. Where's my poops? Okay, we'll get back to the poops in just a second. Helping with that and getting rid of that toxic load in terms of having healthy poops. Yes, here enter the poop platter. Can't do a show without the poop platter. So getting back to having those healthier poops is really important. Ideally, the S-shaped dark sinker is your healthiest type of poop. If you've seen me on social media before, you've seen me talk about all the different poops. The light floating poops, not so healthy. Hey, if you've got this, you've got some severe toxicity happening with that constipation and with those rabbit pellet poops, not so healthy as well. If you've got sort of what I call the elephant poop, not so healthy. We've got to do that spring detox. Let's get those toxins moving. Hey, if you're just tuning in right now, please say hello, hit that share button, and thank you for all the love coming in and all those hearts. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for sharing today's live. I know that a lot of you have shared. Shelly just shared, The Spaniard just shared the live. Awesome. Thank you so much. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as well. On Wednesdays at 1 p.m., I have my Q&A, so I'm going to be answering your questions. So tomorrow is going to be fantastic for that as well, but I'm here every Tuesday for the Doctor Janine Show. Thank you for tuning in. We still have a couple more questions coming up, so you have the ability to win a prize from our great sponsors at Vitatree Nutritionals. That is coming up. You got a couple more opportunities, okay? This is a very interactive show. Let's continue. Okay, we talked about herbal detox, doing a foot detox bath. I've got my recipe for that. We are going to revisit that. If you're new here, you're going to see this for the first time. Amazing to pull some of those nasties out of the body, even parasites. Yeah, it's crazy, and we'll talk a little bit about parasites as well. It's always so much fun. Okay, and number 7, so that's coming up. We will be doing, and I'll be sharing my foot detox bath. And number 7, releasing toxic emotions. So something that I've never talked about on the show before, something that I've written about in my books, that what's happening up here in terms of your mental status and how you're feeling emotionally has a lot to do with what's going on with your body and your body's ability to have a strong immune system, to fight things off, to be able to, be happy and healthy, have a good healthy liver, to have great organ function. This ties back to our emotions. And we're going to go through that emotional guidance scale, and I'll give you some tips as to how to feel better. So if you're down in the dumps, there's always a better emotion, and that's what we can aim for, is going up that emotional guidance scale. So that's coming up in just a second. But guess what? It's already quiz question 2 time. Is everybody ready? Okay, everybody having a lot of fun? Please put some love into the comments. Thank you for double tapping the screen and sharing all those hearts and things. Love the fact that you're here. Hello, I'm glad that you're loving this. And Guyana, thank you so much. Great to have you here. Okay, this is from our great sponsors at Vitatree, the sponsors of the Doctor Janine Show. We thank them for making this possible. Every week they're donating a different product. This is what we're playing for. Yeah, this is timely. The Vita Detox, full body detox. That's what we're playing for right now. Okay, is everybody ready? You're gonna have 30 seconds on the clock. Everybody, I want you all to participate. Nigel is here from Antigua and Barbuda. Nice to have you here. I know that the sun is probably shining there, as well as in Pretoria, South Africa. Jackie is here. Mike is here in Canada, yes, with the cold snowflakes. I know, I got it. And thank you for all the hearts and all the love coming in. Okay, are we ready? Yes, we're ready. Let's go. Okay, quiz question number 2. Here we go. True or false? Deodorized coconut oil is good for you. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. Get your answers in now. All right, everybody getting their answers in. You've got about 10 seconds left on the clock. Do your best. True or false? Super simple to get your answers in. Everybody ready? Yes. True or false? True or false? Yes. Okay. All right. Most of you, I believe, had the correct answer. Some of you had it wrong, but that's okay. Maybe you're just tuning in right now. We already talked about deodorized coconut oil is not good for you. It is false. So congratulations to everybody who answered that correctly. You still have one more quiz question coming up. And let's move on to now some local foods. So this is local to me, and this is something that you can look up. You can go to a local farm. So where I live, these are local spring foods that are now coming into season as we're getting some warmer, hopefully some warmer temperatures here in Canada. But I want you, and I encourage you to go, hey, if you've got a garden, you already know this. A lot of people don't have their own gardens, so you go to a farmer's market, you go and buy locally grown foods in season. This is going to entrain your circadian rhythms. This is something that we talked about last week in terms of the clocks that we've got. We've got a major clock in the brain. We've got clocks in our organs as well. The food is programmed with information from the sun, like a barcode, in all the food around us. And this is why I say don't eat bananas in Canada in the middle of winter. We can't grow bananas here, and that's going to send a mixed message if I eat a banana in Canada in the wintertime to my clocks, and this will cause inflammation in my body. I won't feel so well. It can rob me of my energy. So yes, this is why eating foods in season really important. So let's go through a quick list of local spring foods in this area. So if you're in this area, but this is something you can definitely look up online as well. Sort of a cheat sheet way to do this is just look it up online, local foods where you live and what is in season in the springtime. Okay, so number one, asparagus coming into season. Asparagus, yes, delicious, love it, love it, love it. Okay, number two, radishes as well, super healthy. You've got your polyphenols, you've got your vitamin C in radishes, amazing. Chop them, cook them, put them into salads. Very crunchy, awesome, awesome, awesome. And some are more spicy than others. Okay, number three, fiddleheads. So aren't these interested? Again, loaded with those antioxidants, anything in the lutein and the zeaxanthin, which of course we talked about in a previous episode, talking about our eye health and the foods best for our eyes. Any dark green thing with food with chlorophyll, of course, is going to be great for our eyes because of the lutein and the zeaxanthin. Please hit that share button. Thank you. Let everybody in on the action. Hit that share button 5, 10, 15 times. That would be great. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Fiddleheads. Yes, Mark. Yes, fiddleheads. There we go. Number 4 is spinach, which happens to be the food, if you saw my episode on the eye health, the food that's highest in lutein and zeaxanthin. So I hope everybody who's been watching for a while, everybody is eating more of their spinach. I know that a lot of people are making a concerted effort to do that for their eye health, and you will see your eyes clear up. It's amazing when you start to eat more spinach. Okay, number 5, fava beans. Okay, who's seen Silence of the Lambs? I feel like I'm dating myself. A lot of the young kids, they don't even know what that is. But yes, the fava beans, they are in season. Great source of vegetarian protein, which is amazing. And number 6, rhubarb. So rhubarb is coming into season. I know a lot of you may have never tasted this. This is something that's local to us, here in Canada, but it's in, of course, different parts at this latitude. Rhubarb, strawberry rhubarb pie. Oh, delicious. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, who loves a rhubarb? Put a 1 in the comments if you love rhubarb. If you've never had it before, put a 2 in the comments if you don't even know what I'm talking about. Rhubarb is delicious. And a lot of antioxidants actually in rhubarb. Just the leaves are toxic, so you've got to be careful with that with pets and things. You don't want to go near the leaves. Okay, thank you so much. Some of you, Shokolowski, you've never heard of rhubarb. You have no idea what that is. Gigi, you don't know what rhubarb is. Never had it? Oh, cheekies. If you're ever in an area where they grow it in season, yeah, rhubarb with, I hate to say it, with sugar, with a natural cane sugar. It's really good. And you boil it on the stove. Yeah, yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Everybody who's here today. Let's talk about some symptoms of toxicity. So how would you know? Okay, you're thinking, okay, yeah, it's great to talk about detox and cleaning up my body. How do you know that you've got some toxicity happening? What would be some of the signs and symptoms? And this is why often when I'm on television, this is Lucy. If you've not yet met Lucy, this is why I bring Lucy to kind of go through some of our organ systems and talk about that internal toxicity and how that can be manifesting in your body. We will be talking about parasites in a few moments, about what parasites could be lurking in your body. So that is coming up. But let's talk a little bit, because that can, of course, affect our digestive tract and some toxicity there with gas and bloating. But let's talk about some of those symptoms. So let's look at the list here. What could be a sign and symptom of being toxic? Okay, number one is probably the most common, is lack of energy. So you're just simply tired. You don't have that get up and go energy. And I'm talking about energy without using the caffeine, without using the sugar to stimulate yourself all the time in a sort of synthetic way. Your vital energy, sign of that toxicity. Okay, number two, headaches. Are you prone to headaches? Well, did you know that headaches can very much be related to internal toxicity? So when we talk about liver, when we talk about colon health and having constipation, so remember the poops? If you've got this problem that you don't have healthy poops all the time and you've got constipation, poops that look like this, or you're not going, 2 times a day, then that could be a sign of constipation. At the very, very least, you should have 1 poop per day. And it should happen in the morning. That's a sign of good health. If that's not happening, there could be a problem happening. You've got that toxicity that's building up, of course, in the internal organs. You've got some of the gastric issues, the gas and bloating, another sign of toxicity. Okay, number 3 is skin rashes. Yes, so the eczema, the psoriasis, the hives, these could all be related to that internal toxicity. Hey, what's going on, guys? Where's my number 3? Is it coming? It's coming. There we go, skin rashes. All right, give my group a hand behind the scenes. All right, I think they have lack of energy. Somebody behind the scenes here at the Doctor Janine Show needs to do a detox, I think. Haha, don't you agree? Yes, put a 1 in the comments. Okay, number 4 is, I know they're hating me right now, is thyroid issues. Okay, so thyroid issues can be related to having that toxicity build up. All the blood through your system goes through your thyroid. So your thyroid actually works like a sieve to detoxify, and it sort of traps toxins, especially heavy metal toxins. So this is a problem with thyroid issues. Another big group of chemicals are the halogens, which will affect your thyroid gland. So if you use bleach, if you're in a swimming pool or in a hot tub and you have that chemical exposure, that can actually shut down your thyroid. Okay, so that's really important in terms of your thyroid health. Okay, let's go on to number 5, constipation. So yes, again, we talked about those poops. So again, the healthy poop, what does it look like? If anybody could guess on my poop platter right here, what's the healthy one? What letter does it look like? The healthy poop. Please put it in there. I'm gonna wait for somebody to put in which shape poop is the healthiest. It's something that I've talked about a lot before. Hi, nice to see you, Lawrence. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, Gigi, Brett, Anthony, Amy, everybody's got it. Yes, the S-shaped dark sinker is your healthiest poop, and that's on this Bristol stool chart. And somebody in my comments before said, yeah, they poop the whole alphabet. So A, B, C, D in their poop. Yeah, wasn't that funny? I know. Okay, number 6 on the list, joint pain. So if you've got joint pains, you've got those aches and pains, again, that can be related to that toxicity that's built up. Number 7, cravings for sweets. So yeah, if you love your sweets, maybe you've got a parasitic issue. I'm going to be showing you some parasites in just a few moments, so stay tuned for that. And what we can do to get rid of them is, more importantly, with that full body detox, and that foot detox bath recipe is coming up. And of course, number 8, that weight gain. So yeah, that weight gain is something that could be, yeah, where's my fat? Mr. Fat. So you've got the extra 5, 10, 15, 30, 50 pounds sitting on you. Well, did you know that your body actually holds on to excess fat and water to protect you from the toxic load? So a lot of these environmental toxins that we don't think about, we don't necessarily see them or perceive them, even our makeup, our body lotions and things, they can sit in your fat cells because they're fat soluble. And your body is gets the signal, okay, too many toxins here, put on some more fat so that they don't go into the organs. So that's another reason why doing that full body detox is an important thing, especially now in springtime, and that's why we're talking about spring detox. Okay, I do want to thank my super fans. So I hope everybody got that list over there. We can come back to it in just a few moments if you missed it, but please, 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 I don't even know how to thank you in a way, because you're so generous in supporting my show, supporting, the entire team here at the Doctor Janine Show. I thank you so much, because all the beautiful messages, and we have an ongoing, documented list going now of all the beautiful comments that you share. And if I haven't yet shouted you out, continue to send in your messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your support of the channel. Love you all. You guys are the best. I have the best followers in the world, I swear. Amazing, amazing. Sandy, and thank you, some new followers. Janine coming in today, Garcia, so many new followers. Life is precious. Thank you so much. Love the fact that you're here, and maybe you're here for the first time. Hey, we do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? So make sure you tune in every week. Now, let's go through some of what's going on up here in terms of our internal toxicity. And this is called the Emotional Guidance Scale. And it's something that I talked about in a couple of my books in terms of how can we get ourselves healthier and happier? Because a lot of people are down in the dumps. So let's say, and this is going from worst emotion up to, of course, the best. When we're going in this downward spiral, not the healthiest thing, because those emotions will then track and have a negative impact on what's happening with our organ systems and the way that our cells actually work, and then the way that our cells communicate with one another, and that is end-stage disease. So how do we lift ourselves out of this? How do we get going back up in the upwards direction? So, great example. If you're down here, depression, despair, grief, fear. Look, people that are fearful, it is on the bottom, the very bottom of the list, the worst emotion to be having. If you have this deep-seated fear, you've got to do something to sort of try to bump yourself up. So sometimes by getting angry, it's actually a healthier emotion than being down in the depths of despair. So isn't that interesting? Now, if you're angry all the time, then you can bump yourself up by, and I'm not saying that we should be blaming others, but blame is actually a little bit better than the anger. Now let's go a few steps up. Worry. So people that worry a lot, if you're the worrywart, this is something that, hey, if you feel more overwhelmed, that's actually a healthier emotion than the worry. So you know that you're going up the emotional scale ideally into the joy, the freedom, the bliss, as you're going up this way. So think about this. If you're frustrated a lot, well, to be bored is actually better than being frustrated. Now, if you're bored a lot, being just content with where you're at, sort of baseline, that is a healthier emotion than some of these lower ones on the. So I hope that you're all screenshotting this, that you can take a peek at this, because when you're down in the dumps and you're not feeling well, you got to do things to bump things up. And of course, over the next few shows, I'll give you little tips and tricks as to, some things that we can do in terms of that mind-body connection. How do we bump ourselves up to be able to do that? And of course, optimism, happiness, be passionate about something, amazing to bump our way up on that emotional guidance scale. Okay, so I hope you've got that amazing, something that I haven't talked about before, but guess what? We're gonna do that foot detox now. And doing that foot detox is something that you can really help to draw those toxins out through your feet. And it's something that I've actually analyzed the water of people that have done the foot detox, this specific protocol. And I do have a black light, and something that I've been able to find some pretty scary little guys. Yeah, I'm talking parasites, yes, in the actual foot detox. So here are some of the things that can show up. Yes, flukes can come out through the feet. The candida, of course, as well. If you've ever done the ion cleanse detox, similar kind of situation, but I find that the herbal medicines and this whole recipe is something that really has that drawing effect. The hookworm. Hookworms often goes into the body through the feet. They can be drawn out as well. And the roundworms, yes, and yeah, those tapeworms. I've never seen, thankfully, a tapeworm in doing the foot detox. Protozoa as well. These are little microorganisms, and of course those flukes can be in the brain, they can be in the blood supply, and eliminating them, and one of the ways to do that, and we can see some EBGBs behind me, those parasites, something that we talked about in previous episodes, something that's really important is to draw those toxins out. Okay, so let's mix up the foot detox recipe. If you're new here, you haven't seen this, this is a little bit of a review for people that have been here before, but this is what we're doing. Okay, so all you're gonna do is you're going to open up. So remember from our great sponsors at VitaTree, that full bottle of the Vita Detox has all those herbal medicines and even more than what I mentioned when we were talking about that full detox. Okay, they're all in here. You're gonna open up the capsules. So this typically would be capsules. You're gonna open up all the capsules, just discard the capsules, you won't need them. Put the powder back into your bottle. And then you're going to mix that in with some hot water, and you're gonna do this in a basin in which is big enough to soak your feet. You're gonna mix some of that, and I'm gonna show the exact recipe in just a second, of that detox, those herbal medicines that will help to draw those toxins out through the feet, with some apple cider vinegar, and make the water hot, or as hot as you can stand it, because you're going to be sitting there for about 45 minutes. And some salt. So I like to use the sea salt, and you mix that in. And that is what is going to help to draw those toxins out. And then you sit and you put your feet in there for at least 45 minutes. And it is amazing. This is a great way to gently pull toxins out of kids as well. I, of course, love to take the herbal medicines internally, but also doing the foot bath, amazing. Now, you can actually do a full body bath and soak in this as well. It's something that we shared in a previous show. But let's take a look at the recipe really quickly. And this is something that's interesting because we know that in Eastern medicine, we know that all those chakras, and where's my acupuncture guy? Here we go to, and all of you can see that there are different points, those meridians on, and this is, in traditional Chinese medicine, the qi, the energy flows through those meridians, and there are a number of those points land up on the bottom of the feet, but look at the top of the foot. Can you see all the acupuncture points that are there? I mean, that is incredible, all around the ankles, and so those internal organs actually map, and their energy maps into the feet, and so by doing a foot bath, you're drawing and causing that detoxification of the internal organs just through doing that and soaking your feet, which is amazing. And this is, in different parts of the world, part of a regular, detox. You've seen those detox foot pads on the bottom of your feet that you can purchase online. I'm not sure about sometimes the contents of those, but this is trusted because I know the ingredients. But here we go. So you're going to open up an entire bottle of the detox and 1/3 cup of that sea salt, and then you're going to, and that's your dry mix ingredient. Then you're going to mix up a 1/4 cup of this mixture of the VitaTree Vita Detox with a 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar and 10 cups of as hot as you can stand it, water. And you're going to put it into a basin, and you're going to soak your feet. So you're going to sit somewhere comfortably, put on, Netflix and chill. You're going to watch a movie for 45 minutes. You're going to relax and allow those toxins to come out. Now, it's important to wash your feet. So because I've analyzed the water and I've seen some of those nasties come out, some of those parasites, when I checked it with the black light, so like whether it is the candida, or maybe it is the hookworms, or maybe it is the roundworms that are coming out, amazing to do that detox for your feet and draw this out. Do this for your kids as well, especially if they've got some of those signs and symptoms that we talked about earlier, talking about spring detox, of that toxicity internally. Okay, guess what time? Okay, everybody got the recipe? We can come back to it in just a second. If you missed it, let's go on. I have to move on. It's quiz question number 3 time, guys. So here we are playing for the Vita Detox from our great sponsors. Hey, you could mix up that foot bath for yourself if you're a lucky winner today. So good luck, everyone. This is from our great sponsors at VitaTree, who supports and sponsors the show. Thank you so much. Quiz question number 3. Are we ready? Now, this one, you had to pay attention to last week's show. So, I'm getting tricky on you now. You had to actually tune in last week to see last week's show to know the answer to this one. Okay, it's true or false. Here we go. There are circadian clocks in your liver. True or false? Let's see who was paying attention and who was here last week. You got 30 seconds. Go. Okay, we've just got about 10 seconds left on the clock. Take a guess, take a stab at it. Let's see who's paying attention. Shalimar, yes. Jane, Sharon, Melinda, Karen, Daniel, Grammy Sue, Shalimar again, yes. Okay, some of you are answering more than once. Fernando, all right. Nino, Denise, Nana, yes. Okay, Lumvi, love my garden. Yes, yes, yes. Good job. The new book, working on it, working on it, working on it, working on it. Yes, thank you for asking. That is coming. I didn't even talk about the title. I can't say anything, but it's coming very soon, my third book. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you are following me if you want first dibs on the book and the launch and the release and all of that fun stuff. Okay, everybody got their answers in? I gave you a few extra seconds. Okay, yes, it is true. So do we have that asset? Can we pull that up really quickly? Awesome. So remember, we have that major clock in our head in the SCN of the hypothalamus. It's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, okay? To be really technical and nerdy. That's our major clock. And that one in the brain runs our other organ clocks. And yes, we have clocks in our liver cells. And that's why our circadian timing, getting out into nature, following the sun cycle, putting on our blue light blocking glasses at night, decreasing our screen time makes a big difference for our overall health. And that's something that we talked about last week, especially when we talk about liver health and fatty liver. So I hope if you did miss that episode, you can check it out. It does exist on long form. You can search it up and you'll be able to find it. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, welcome on in. Thank you for tuning into the show today. We're talking about spring detox today, and we've got to go back to the kitchen. Can we go back? Because we did a little test for fake coconut oil. Okay, so how do you know if your coconut oil is fake? Well, you want to make sure that it does not say that it's deodorized. And we did a little test. So in the kitchen earlier, what we did was we put a couple of spoonfuls of this coconut oil into some water. And now we're at least, like 25 minutes later, I'm going to guess. So you're supposed to leave it for about 20 minutes or so to see if it maintains its true form. And look at this. It did not melt. Now, if your coconut oil starts to melt in water after about 20 minutes, you know that you've got a fractionated, lower grade, not so good, potentially toxic coconut oil. So this one passed the test. Yay, everybody give me some claps. All right, this was a good coconut oil. So that's something that you can test at home because you don't want to be adding, more toxins into your daily life. And maybe you're doing like the oil pulling for your teeth to pull out toxins through your mouth. Maybe we should talk about oil pulling next week. I think we're going to do that. So oil pulling, if you don't know what that is, let's talk about that next week in next week's show, because that's really a remarkable way to actually sanitize the mouth, and it helps with, fillings and all these things to help in terms of prevention for having strong teeth and healthy gums as well. So yeah, okay, awesome. Everybody is loving that. Diva Organic is here. Hello, nice to have you here. Thank you for tuning in today. Teresa, thank you for the follow. And Lee Ann, you love oil pulling. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to share about oil pulling next week, which is amazing. Hot water or cold? Cold water to test the coconut oil, because we know, so cold, or I just use room temperature water to test the coconut oil. Good question. Yeah, because if it's hot and if you're using hot water and it melts, everybody's going to say, oh, I've got toxic coconut oil. No, just room temperature water, or even cold is fine. Ayla, thank you for the follow. Amazing to have you here. Guji, if you're just tuning in, I'm Dr. Janine, and we do this every Tuesday at this time. So at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, please tune into my show every week. And you're just, seeing me for the first time. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. And so we talked about, a lot of details about spring detox today. We did that foot bath. I hope everybody was able to screenshot it. Do you want me to put it up one more time really quickly? The foot detox bath recipe is something that I want you to make sure that you're doing for yourself, especially now in springtime. And of course, doing, those herbal medicines internally as well is something that I recommend. I'm sure in the comments in the description we'll be able to share that information with you. And so it is, of course, from our great sponsors at VitaTree, the Vita Detox, a third cup of the sea salt. That's your dry mix. Then you're just taking a quarter cup. I hope that's clear. You're taking a quarter cup of that dry mix to make the foot bath each time, a half a cup of apple cider vinegar, and 10 cups of warm, hot. Try to make it hot water. Warm is going to cool off, because remember, you're going to be soaking your feet for 45 minutes, so you want it to be hot enough that it's going to be comfortable. And then you just sit and relax and allow those toxins to be pulled out. Dump that water when you're done with it, and of course wash your feet off, so that you have eliminated everything that's come out, including, you know, maybe some of those parasites in the eggs and all that nasty stuff that has been drawn out. Okay, I hope that you love that. Amazing. And all right. Okay, so Heidi is saying, yes, we will be talking about it. Heidi is saying that she has not needed any dental work, and she owes it all to doing oil pulling with essential oils. Amazing, amazing. So I will be sharing some of that information in next week's show, which will be amazing. So thank you, everybody who tuned in today. It was so great to have you all here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing a quick Q&A at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is happening tomorrow at 1 p.m. So it was great to have you all here. Thank you so much. And we will be going through some tips as well for that emotional guidance scale, how to sort of bump yourself up so that you can start to feel better in mind, body, and spirit. And that's what we're all about here, sharing all the love here at the Dr. Janine Show. It's so great to have you all here today, and I will see you tomorrow for the Q&A. We'll see you then.